So on the screen behind me, you'll see a couple pictures. The one on the left, or excuse me, your right, my left, I'm thinking wrong way, is a picture of when my dad used to not like to go to church. It's actually one of my favorite pictures and probably one of his least favorite pictures. The suit was probably forced to wear. My grandmother made him wear it. And I'm excited because it's Easter. I had a little dress on that had bells on it. And I'm holding my dad's hand, and he's not really pleased at all that day. And the one on the right is actually me as a teenager. Later on that day, I was probably put on a leather jacket and hopped on the back of a Harley. I was a classic preacher's daughter. You know, it can go either way, right? You can either be like a good church-going girl or you can rebel against it, and I chose the latter of the two. I lived in fear for as long as I can remember. And the picture on the right is before my father knew God, before he decided to make the decision that he was ready to step out in faith. And I know you've all heard the sermon that he's given before about getting out of the boat. When I think about that, I think about who I would be if I hadn't watched the transformation of my dad over the past almost 4 decades. Because when he made that choice, when that revelation happened in his heart, when he stepped out of that boat and started walking on the water towards Jesus, he was never, ever the same.
Amen.
Ever. And for me, as a little kid growing up, I didn't quite understand what was happening. Part of me didn't want to believe that it was true. Certainly as a teenager, I was like, okay, whatever. And then I started watching all of these trials and tribulations, really biblical stuff actually getting thrown at my parents. I mean, we're not just talking about like, you have a lot of bills to pay or your car breaks down. We're talking about health issues, like really big health issues. We're talking about people that they helped, like literally like invited into their home and helped, then turning around and burning down their home. And he never turned back into that man, that angry, hurt man who, before he knew God, could have very easily just turned his back and walked away, because that's what we do, right? Before we have faith, we get angry and we blame other people. And so for me, I've actually watched this beautiful transformation and seen somebody live without fear. And for somebody that has been scared her entire life, right? From a little kid, I went from being afraid of not being good enough, afraid of people walking away from me, afraid of people not liking me, and trying to twist myself and mold myself into something that who I wasn't really at all. And then I watched my dad literally strip himself of everything that he was, or who he thought he was, and turn into something beautiful. It was like a caterpillar kind of turning into a butterfly, right? And I need a drink of water. My mouth is like,
Wait,
oh,
right underneath.
oh, look, you guys are so smart. Look, you got me right here. Thank you. So this song that I chose, I was going to do something really different, but I couldn't find the music, and certainly not in the right tone. The song that I chose today is Lord, I'm Ready Now. And it reminds me a lot of my dad when he made that choice. Because it didn't just affect me, it affected so many other people over the years, to be able to step out. And I actually, with everything that's been going on with him, and even in myself and different things that I've gone through, Like even in the pandemic, the only time I ever really got a little nervous was when I'd go to the grocery store and see all these people that were scared. And then it was like I was feeding off their energy. But other than that, like even with stuff that's going on with him now, like I'm not afraid. Like I have never been that way before. To actually be able to see all these different things get thrown at our family, and I can kind of look at it and kind of giggle. Like I know that seems ridiculous when you look at scans and I actually have medical knowledge and to understand what those images mean. And I'm like, you know, because my dad taught me how to not live in fear.
Man.
And I am so grateful because if he had not made that step and decided to walk out on the water with Jesus, I would not be standing here today as somebody that no longer lives in fear either. I don't know what my life would look like. I really don't. I probably would still be that angry teenage girl. God knows what I would be doing. I don't know what kind of a mother I would be to my children. Who knows where I would have ended up. And so I'm so grateful for that. And hopefully everybody else can try to do that too as well, because we're all supposed to be living examples of what Jesus is in our life for other people. That's what it's all about, right? Is to be able to when people see us, they're supposed to be able to see Jesus.
Amen.
And that's what my dad did for me. So. Go ahead, Tracy.